Media titans joined me at the DealBook Summit yesterday, giving us a sense of the state of streaming and, yes, the struggling box office. Here's what Disney CEO Bob Iger had to say.
I think the movie business is changing, actually. Box office today is about 75% of what it was pre-COVID. I think we have conditioned the audience to expect that these films will be on streaming platforms relatively quickly, and that the experience of accessing them and watching them in the home is better than it ever was.
Joining us now to discuss more on the state of media and streaming is Matt Belloni, Puck founding partner. Any nuggets from what you saw yesterday? I mean, you could have talked Zaslav, talk Iger. It's not the Holy Grail. We thought it was for a while, Disney Plus. Then we thought it was just a loss leader. Now we're back to where it's pretty good, and we're stuck with it.
Yeah, Iger's in a very interesting position here because he's doing a little bit of revisionist history. I mean, a lot of these things he's talking about problems from his predecessor, Bob Chapek, these are strategies that Iger himself implemented. And as far back as 2020, he was talking about how Disney has to focus on quality, not quantity. Well, now he's saying kind of the same thing. He's saying that they made too many Marvel shows. He's saying that they made sequels to movies that they probably shouldn't have made sequels to. Well, it's kind of a weird thing in Hollywood when you say, okay, we're just going to make the good sequels. That's not really a strategy. They have to figure out what the movie business is going to be going forward. And this year has been pretty disastrous for Disney.
Just as an aside and to kind of square the circle, I thought it was fascinating, Andrew, when let's bring in Elon Musk into this. When Andrew said, do you think people are going to boycott Disney? And Elon said they already are. And I'm not going to say it's not the sales of Bud Light. I'm not saying it's akin to that. Or even if you look at the stock price of Target, it's just hard to ignore, because Walmart and others that didn't have that problem, it doesn't look anything like that. Do you adhere to that opinion that Disney, that you go woke, you go broke, and that's part of the problem?
It's a fascinating topic because I actually don't think that has been the major problem for Disney. If these films were good and were resonating with audiences, they would be forgiving about some of the messaging in the movies. But Iger himself, and I think this is really for the first time, he's talking now about how they have to focus on delighting audiences and the storytelling rather than what he calls the messaging in the movies. And that's an indirect.
Yeah, you said that
that's even worse. That's so it's not that we're woke. We just make crappy movies. I mean, that's even worse, isn't it?
Well, but the wokeness is an issue. I mean, that's what Iger is saying. He's saying that the messaging in the movies is a problem for them. And what he's doing is he's acknowledging all the noise out there about how audiences, they don't like some of the moves Disney has made with their casting choices and with the characters and messaging in the movies. He wants them to pull back on that and focus on the storytelling, which I think is very, very telling about where Iger is right now.
I don't think Marvel has any stories.
Hey, Matt, I'm curious about this. We also talked to Shonda Rhimes yesterday.
Right.
Who's, by the way, a very outspoken supporter of President Biden. She's doing a fundraiser for him. She's done stuff on Scandal and on Grey's Anatomy around some very hot-button issues. And we were talking about, in a polarized world as a storyteller, how do you do that? And do you worry that there's... And she basically said, look, if you tell a good story, it doesn't matter. I don't know if you think that's true. I don't think if you know that the world has changed. I don't know.
It doesn't matter, meaning it's okay if Bob Iger pushes back on that and says you don't have creative authority to do that?
No. Well, first of all, she was saying she has great authority within the Netflix context to do basically whatever she wants. But she thinks that the public, the audience, doesn't look at what the creators' politics are, and or even when some of these hot button issues are part of the story, that is necessarily.
I'm back there. I'm back to Republicans buy sneakers too, and you shouldn't have to. You may net have more viewers because the people do like what you're saying, but you are definitely losing some people that just where it rubs them the wrong way, and I don't know why you need to do that. And
Shonda Rhimes, frankly, she doesn't have to care about the same issues that Bob Iger has to care about. I mean, Shonda has an audience. It's a reliable audience. They show up for her product and they love her for it. Iger has to care about the larger portfolio and whether audiences, when they see the Disney brand, they are potentially turned off. And I think that's what he's talking about with this messaging comment.